I'm an old man, he says, standing in a suit with a tired, distant look. My name is Haruka Yamagishi. My boss yells at me for lacking energy, and the younger employees don't respect me at all. He bows in front of his supervisor, while junior coworkers laugh from a distance. I'm a socially awkward, middle-aged otaku in my 40s, a bachelor. These thoughts haunt him before sleep, and he wakes up again in his old, cramped apartment. And tomorrow, this old man will go through the same routine again. At least, that's what should have happened. Or rather, she wakes up. A forest. Where am I? She hurriedly looks around. Trying to pull herself together, she slaps her cheeks lightly. What is even going on? I should be sleeping in my room. When suddenly, what the hell is happening? When I woke up, I had become an incredibly beautiful woman. She looks herself over, or at least tries to understand what happened. She touches herself, brushes her ears, and realizes, I'm clearly an elf. Pointed ears, and this smooth, dark skin. Trying to calm down, only one thought spins through her mind. I never thought I'd see this with my own eyes. Anyone who loves fantasy would recognize it. This is an elf, though I'd be much happier if I didn't still feel like an old man inside. The realization hits again, only the outside changed. Lost in thought, she suddenly hears something. The sound snaps her back to reality, forcing her to look around. A beast's voice? Why am I in some kind of fantasy world? Why do I have this body? What happened to my real body? She wonders as she walks along a path, examining herself. Could this be someone's trick? But whose? You died, so we transferred you to another world, says God. Save this world, O noble hero, adds a little angel. But the ones who summoned me aren't here. Step by step, she raises her eyes and simply looks at the night sky, understanding. They just threw me into a strange world, completely alone. A cold shiver runs through her body from all these thoughts. I'm really getting anxious. But suddenly, something. A discovery that gives hope. There are human footprints. Quickly looking around, she sees a burnt-out campfire, the remains of a small campsite. Thoughts start racing again. Can I even talk to them? What if I meet someone dangerous? Will I survive? I keep thinking only about the worst. She sits down on a stump, trying to calm herself down again. Ugh, I really am a coward. I need to think of something positive. She grabs a stick. She suddenly stands up straight, holding the stick as if it's something special. When I was a child, I dreamed of becoming a wizard or a hero of justice. Since there are elves here, I might as well try. All right, this should be useful. Fire magic, survival. First, I need to focus on the image. I have to clearly imagine a big fire. Like this. She tries hard to picture a huge bonfire she once saw on TV a long time ago. It burned wide and high, a massive flame. Burn! She shouts, thrusting the stick forward. Sparks of light and fire explode everywhere in a bright flash. This is magic, I can use magic. Shock, realization, pure excitement. But this might be a little too much for me. Turning around, she sees a knight? Both of them stare at each other in terror, sweating coldly. The knight draws a real sword and takes a fighting stance. A real man. A voice in her head says just one thing. This is actually a horrible situation, right? But another thought slips in. It's the first time I've seen a real sword. First I should try talking. But do they even understand my language? The knight freezes. This person looks extremely tense, and that's terrifying. If I can't explain that I don't want to fight. She slowly raises her hands. The knight watches in confusion. I'll use magic as a distraction. Her legs shake, and the strong-looking knight collapses to the ground. She's still standing with her hands raised, staring in bewilderment. Perhaps you should change clothes. Thank you for waiting. I apologize for what happened earlier. Oh, beautiful magician. He stands and behaves as if nothing happened. So calm. And me? All I can think is, I'm just relieved we can talk normally. My name is Ralph Vogan. I'm a second-rank adventurer from Orance, he says, proudly and cheerfully. Adventurer. So this world has professions? I should introduce myself too, I thought. But not a sound comes out of my mouth, because I don't know who I am. My consciousness is definitely Haruka Yamagishi, 43 years old. But whose body is this? The clothes are mine, so the body must be mine too? Ralph notices my confusion. They say dark elves are rare. If you have a reason not to say your name, I won't insist. I think to myself, my name? Yamagishi? I awkwardly say. It looks like I lost part of my memories. Ralph just stares and says, Huh? I don't really understand myself. If it's not too much trouble, could you take me to town? If it's not too inconvenient. Not bad, right? Quite a believable excuse. Now, even if I don't know something, it won't seem strange. I look down shyly. Memory loss? That does happen sometimes, right? Ralph makes a heroic expression and says with a playful smile, I don't mind. I'll escort you. I look at him, confused. Ralph. The nearest town is Orance. We should get there by evening. Can you walk? Yes, it's fine, I blurt out. If you have more questions, ask any time. Thank you. I really appreciate it, I say. What a wonderful young man. So I really scared him. I struggle to walk on this terrain. Ralph looks at me and asks, Are you okay? I answer, Sorry, I'm not used to mountain paths. On the way to town, I learned a little from Ralph. We arrived in a town crowded, buildings everywhere, noise. This is Orance, part of the independent trade nation of Plain. Plain is considered the freest and fairest country in this region. First, let's buy you shoes. If you need anything else, just say so, Ralph said. Thank you so much, I answered. I'll read about the other countries later, in books. So, the adventurer profession in this world. Apparently, anyone can register regardless of origin. Adventurers start at rank 10, and above rank 1, there is a special rank. Special rank. They supposedly have monstrous power. Ralph, are you writing all that down? I quickly respond. Yes. I'll try my best not to get involved with those terrifying people. Ralph said, Yamagishi, you should become an adventurer too. He continued, If you can use magic, you won't starve. And with such a striking appearance, it's better to show your strength for your own safety. Tomorrow, I'll take you to the Adventurers Guild, Ralph said with a smile. He's really so kind. He even booked a room in an inn for me. I feel a bit ashamed. I owe him so much. Ah, right. About magic. So I don't forget, I decided to write everything down in my notebook. In this world, magic works through manipulation of a substance called mind particles. Thank goodness I don't need to find some special source or anything like that. Every spell apparently has a proper name and requires spoken incantation. She looks over what she just wrote, adding details and notes in pencil. Her eyes stare down, white hair framing her face. How long has it been since I last tried so hard to learn something? Hugging the notebook, she collapses onto the pillow. Her eyes slowly close. Hey, Yamagishi-kun, could you try to be a little more energetic? More energetic, you say. I just don't feel any motivation from you. Honestly, the younger ones work much faster. You lack energy. Energy, said my boss, while I bow repeatedly saying, I'm sorry, sorry. I'm heading out, have a good day at work. And I just drowsily went home. I just live without purpose, consuming entertainment. I don't strive for anything. Ah, I see. A gaze full of emptiness. I have no attachment to that previous world anymore. She lies there, notebook still pressed to her chest. A sad thought crosses her mind. Until now. But even if I think about it, there's no point. I still know nothing about this world. I'm sure there's plenty to learn and lots to do. Wrapped in a blanket, that thought drifts through my mind. She still can't sleep, thinking about how small she was when she dreamed of a story like this. She needs to prepare for tomorrow, but for now, sleep a little. A bright ray of sunlight slips into the room and wakes Yamagishi. She opens her eyes. I'm an old man. He touches himself, inspecting. The body feels light. Even though I look so young, youth really matters. For some reason, I've suddenly ended up in another world. In this form. Today, Ralph is supposed to escort me to the Adventurers Guild. But first, I should have breakfast, I think. As I walk into a cafe, lots of people turn and stare at her. Are dark elves really that rare? She makes eye contact with a girl, and the girl freezes in amazement. Miss, you're staring a bit too much. Yamagishi turns away, leaving her behind. The girl awkwardly watches her go. If I stay in the main hall, I'll ruin everyone's appetite. Approaching the waitress, she says, I'll eat in my room. All right, the waitress replies. She sits in her room and eats hot vegetable soup with bread. Suddenly, I'm coming in. Ralph enters and says pleasantly, Good morning, Yamagishi-san. Are you He freezes in shock. I'll just take the dishes. Is something wrong? She asks. He remains in that state, replying, No, I'll take the dishes myself. He clears his throat. Please put something on over that. I made a mistake. What happened this morning wasn't because dark elves are rare. It was because of these clothes. They probably thought I was some kind of pervert. I stepped outside, thinking like an old man. I need to be more careful. Sorry for keeping you waiting, she said to Ralph. The weather outside was clear. They walked, looking at all the different kinds of people around. Ralph began. Even though Plain is a free country, power is valued above all else here. Can I really live a normal life in this world? All I feel is anxiety. A shove. Some boy bumps into me, yelping, Sorry. No, it's fine, I answer. Kids are so full of life. It's touching. Is that because I'm older now? I wonder. But suddenly Yamagishi hears a loud, Hey! Turning around, she sees Ralph holding that boy by the wrist. The boy cries in pain. What are you doing? But Ralph sternly says, Give it back. I have no idea what's happening and can only watch. The boy shouts, I don't want this junk, and throws something back to Ralph. Well, Ralph says, handing it to me. My notebook. They probably thought it was a wallet. Be careful carrying things in your pockets. It's easy to get robbed, Ralph advises. Yes, thank you very much. So what was touching exactly? I'm such an idiot. Is it common for kids to steal here? I ask. Ralph answers. If they're from the slums, they do it just to survive. I continue. Maybe we should have taught them a lesson. With skills like that, one day they'll lose a hand or die. That's dangerous, I think. I look around, but one thought dominates. I've been seeing all this like it was through a screen, but it isn't. This isn't a game world. A girl welcomes us. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild, she says with a sweet smile. You're here for a new registration, correct? Please fill out this form. What a relief that I can read and write this language fluently. I decide to ask her, Excuse me, how old do I look? Huh? She answers. She has amnesia. She doesn't know her age, Ralph explains. The girl immediately looks into a book and says, I see. Give me a moment. They say dark elves put clips on their ears after reaching adulthood. Adulthood is 18 here, so it's better to write a younger age. Thank you. Then I'll put 17, I say. Here's the registration fee and payment for treatment. Your badge will be ready by evening. There will be a training session for new adventurers this afternoon. I recommend you participate. She and Ralph head toward the exit. Ralph-san, this might sound rude, but why are you being so kind to me? I asked for help and you really did so much. But why would you do all this for someone you only met yesterday? He looks genuinely interested. I plan to repay you, with interest even. But why are you doing all this for a stranger? He puts a hand to his face, thinking, well, then suddenly blurts out, it's intuition. I just have a feeling I need to protect this connection with you, Yamagishi-san. It's obvious he's embarrassed. You know, when we first met, I kinda messed up, right? I was stunned by your magical aura, he says, scratching his head. He means when I accidentally released that spell. But most of all, he continues, when you used magic, Yamagishi-san, you were incredibly beautiful, he says, and I involuntarily look away. It was like love at first sight, Ralph says, blushing a little. My face freezes in surprise. The realization hits. I'm nothing like the person he thinks I am. So I tried to impress you, he says. I reply, please don't expect too much from me. The thought keeps spinning in my head. I can't give him false hopes. Despite this appearance, I'm actually a 43-year-old man. And a virgin, Ralph continues. I chose to do all of this on my own, so don't worry about it, Yamagishi-san. Ha, I exhale. I'll be in the guild all day, so feel free to go about your business, Ralph-san. Ah, all right, he answers. I booked the inn for a week, so you can go there after you're done. Huh, slips out of my mouth, but he's already lost in the crowd. A week. I don't even know the price per night. I didn't think warmth like this would have consequences. Now, more than ever, I need to start earning money myself. My thoughts are interrupted by a girl saying, first, you need to learn. She points where I should go. I arrive at the library, grab the books I need, sit down to read and study, as they told me, and I take notes of interesting information. While I write and make notes, phrases slip out automatically as I read. From The Triple Magic, Origins of Jilla, Glory and Future to Those Who Master All Sides of Magic, I think. 114. The classroom is empty. Did I come too early? Suddenly someone enters. A beastman. Cute ears and a fluffy tail. He just sits nearby. He starts laying something on the table. Little stones, it seems. Huh? This is a training room, right? Noisy place, yeah. Shut up, urine! Someone yells from somewhere. Two more kids come in, loud and chatty. Hey, aren't you even noisier than everyone else? A girl replies, that's only because I watch them and think they're lively boys and girls. They keep talking. A dark elf. Rare. And I'm sitting in the middle of all this youth. A young woman enters the classroom. All four of you are here. She's the instructor, and she suddenly stops when she sees my thoughtful face. Ah, she says, it's that same girl from this morning. We meet again. How awkward. Silence hangs in the room. All right then, let's start the training. I'm Ari Hitstan, a third-class adventurer. First, we'll talk about the mindset of adventurers and types of requests. And then, she says, looking over our small class. After that, I learned more about the inhabitants of this world, and I wrote everything down. Dwarves, humans, beast folk, and elves are all considered people. On the other side, there are races known as destroyers. Goblins, vampires, giants, merfolk, and lizardmen. They are uniformly aggressive and destructive. Adventurers must fight them. I'm already imagining how that would look. But I'm different. Magic and adventuring. It would be a lie to say I'm not excited, but before I finish that thought, Ari Hitstan says, that's all. You're all dismissed. But my thought continues. This isn't for me. Memories of violence and fear. I've always avoided conflict, and by nature I'm timid. No matter how much I think about it, this isn't for me. I should look for a safer way to live, like I always have. As I walk, mumbling to myself, right, smart adults don't go on adventures. The kids from class stare at me, confused. Huh? Hey, wait! The girl shouts from behind. I turn around. Hey, how about joining us? She continues, and her friend adds, let's form a party together. Let's go on adventures as a group. I freeze. I go back to the table. All right, let's start with introductions. I'm Albert College. I'm 14. My dad's a former adventurer. He trained me well, so I'm strong, the boy says. Then his friend. I'm Corin. I've been with this guy forever. He'd probably die alone, so I decided to accompany him. I didn't ask you for that, Albert yells. I'm Montana Malto. My dad's a dwarven blacksmith, says the one with ears and a tail. The others react. A dwarf? Albert starts asking. Montana, you're a beastman, right? Montana seems ready for that question. Some giant bird kidnapped me. Then my dwarf father found me. So you're going to look for your real parents? Montana calmly answers. Maybe someday. And finally, they turn to me. I answer, I'm Haruka Yamagishi. What am I supposed to do? I just realized adventures aren't for me. My eyes instinctively avoid eye contact. Then I'll call you Haruka, Albert shouts. Corin follows. Me too. I just smile because I can't refuse them. The truth is, I'm actually an old man inside, but I doubt they'd believe that. They're so bright. Haruka, do you have a weapon? Can you use magic or anything? I answer. It seems like I can, at least somewhat. Seriously? Mages are really rare, you know. I decide to continue. But I plan on working in town, and adventures are kind of... But no one's listening anymore. They're already asking each other, Montana, do you use a dagger? I also have a hammer. Our party is pretty balanced, right? I keep trying to say something. Amazing that we all registered on the same day. I can't take it anymore and shout, Hey, can I think it over for one night? Waving my hands like I'm trying to shoo them away, and I quickly head to the door. I'll try to think positively, I say awkwardly. The kids stare after me, clueless. Albert asks, Did we fail recruitment? Corin answers, It's because you're too loud, Al. They start bickering, and I'm once again lost in my thoughts. I couldn't even tell them I'd refuse. All I said was, I'll think positively. If I talk to them tomorrow, they'll drag me in for sure. I can already imagine it. I don't want to be a burden, I think, clenching my fists. I'm walking fast, probably looking very nervous. The thoughts in my head go like, let's go adventuring together. Oh no, calm down. I'm an old man. I'm 46. A sword suddenly flies past and hits the wall, and a boy runs after it yelling, I'm sorry! Sorry, I'm really sorry it slipped out of my hand. Are you hurt? No, I'm fine, thank goodness, I say. I'm really sorry, he says, and goes back to training, catching my attention. And then I see it's a field where lots of people are training. A training ground? There are swordsmen everywhere. Among the noise, I hear fire arrow. I see a blazing arrow shoot into a target. Wow, a girl says. I ask her, are you all right? She turns. Huh? Yeah, it's fine. Just magic exhaustion. Magic exhaustion, I think. Too much concentration when using magic, and headaches from mana passing through the brain. Right? I wonder. The girl says, 5 or 6 shots are my limit. I'll rest a bit. Go ahead and use this place. She walks away. I came here to train, but maybe this is a good opportunity. Even if I don't go adventuring, I should know my limits. I think as I look around. I hear shouts, Fire arrow, go! The trainees are chatting. Someone says they're tired. Someone else says it came out better than last time. Others cast a few spells, and then rest. So this is the average number? How many can I do? According to the textbook, I need to focus on the wave and the incantation. I take a breath and recite, "Fire arrow, manifest, sharpen, light, pierce, and explode," and a bright light forms above my hand. Toward the direction I point, I extend my hand, and go, fire arrow. And it flies straight into the target. Excitement surges through me, and I start trying again and again. I'm acting way too hyped for someone my age, but I'm thrilled and pumped up. In that excitement, I didn't notice people beginning to whisper behind me. The girl who gave me her spot says, "What was that?" I've never felt this excitement before. A smile is frozen on my face. In all my 40 years of life, I stare at the target. No sign of magic exhaustion yet. I can still cast. And behind me, how many shots did that elf do? Who knows? Who even is she? Everyone is watching me. This is awkward, I mutter. Next person, please. And quickly leave. I got so caught up in it that I didn't notice everyone staring. In the end, I didn't even find my limit, because I still wasn't tired. But that's enough for now. 50 shots. That should be fine. With that, I definitely won't be a burden. I walk past the kids from class. "Hey," I hear behind me, but I keep going without looking back. Faster. I still haven't decided whether to join their party. The instructor stops me. "Hey, I need to talk to you." An awkward pause, and my thoughts swirl. Indecent behavior? A trial? "Why are you frozen? Hurry, follow me," she says, and starts walking ahead. I'm still standing like a statue. Yes, she snaps. I see a table. She sets it up for a meal. She breaks a piece of bread, makes a hot dog in one quick motion, pouring sauce on top, and takes a bite. I ask her, what is this about?" She answers, "I told you, I'm treating you. Don't be shy, eat as much as you want." Indecent behavior. Yes, but you said you wanted to talk. Hold on. What kind of mood is this? I'm not trying to scare you or anything, Ari Hitston says. I just want to ask a few questions. You want to ask something? What's your relationship with Ralph? She asks. I saw you together this morning, right? Ari-san. Don't tell me. Is this about Ralph? Maybe she thinks I need to clear up this misunderstanding. He helped me when I was lost in the forest. He's kind to me, but there's nothing between us. If that's the case, fine, she says, barely looking up from her food. But I wouldn't recommend getting too close to him. He has a bad reputation with women, and it causes problems sometimes. He even made one of my friends cry, she says, stabbing a sausage with a fork and lifting it toward her mouth. Looks like I misunderstood everything. I remember when he said, it was like love at first sight. When someone says that, I can't pretend I didn't think about it at all. But he did help me, and I don't want to speak badly of him. I decide to cut the topic short with, he was just being kind, that's all. Ari-san asks, so are you wealthy? Huh? I reply. That inn is expensive. Usually adventurers of rank 3 stay there. Are you paying for it yourself? She continues. He's paying, but I plan to repay everything. This is getting awkward. Ari-san replies, then you should leave as soon as possible. Though he said he paid for the whole week, I add. Ari-san, you know, why not cancel the booking? Get the money back and move to the guild dorms. I can arrange it. If you need money, I'll lend you some. I think about it. Ari-san, you're also very kind, aren't you? She answers, don't exaggerate. Like I said, that guy made my friend cry, she says again, stabbing the sausage aggressively, raising it to her mouth, then taking another bite. I just want to teach him a little lesson. Then could you at least help me check out of the inn? She makes a gesture with her fingers. Okay. Phew, I'll still owe someone, but at least it'll be less money. I'll have to tell Ralph about this too. I take a sip of my drink, then another. Ari-san watches me and smiles. Ugh, weird taste. Eri-san laughs. Ha ha ha. What's that face for? It's a cheap tavern, of course the drinks taste like that. Eri-san, during training you seemed so mature, but now you're like a regular girl your age, I say. She doesn't respond, just says, "Let's not talk about Ralph anymore. Now tell me something about yourself." I continue. Well, I have amnesia, so there isn't much to tell. Eri-san suddenly screams in shock. What? You have amnesia? Are you okay? Yeah, I think so, I reply. We talk casually and don't realize we've finished eating. A bat on a stick. I can't figure out what it is. I try to take a bite. We ended up chatting so much we decided to take a walk, laughing and talking about everything. We approached the same woman who assigned me to class. You're applying for guild lodging, correct? Please wait a moment. Everything will be ready. Thank you, Eri-san says. Eri-san. Sorry for dragging you around until evening? I reply. No, I had a really fun time today. That surprises Eri-san. Hey Haruka, why don't you join our team? I genuinely like you, she suddenly says. Now it's my turn to be surprised. We're an all-girl party, so it'll be easy for you to fit in. What do you think? I reply. Actually, that sounds pretty difficult. Sorry. Actually, some people from the training session also invited me. She looks at me with interest and surprise, but I continue. They invited me to go on adventures together. I see. So you're interested in that, huh? She says, sounding a little disappointed. But I haven't decided yet, I reply. What? You're still not sure? Eri-san asks, and I stay quiet. I don't know if I can really join their group. Maybe this is the real issue. I don't have a dream or a goal like they do. I'm just an old man inside. Will they really let me join? I've never succeeded at decisions made on my own will. My whole life has been like that. Uncertainty mode activated. With thoughts like that, can I really become part of a team? Suddenly, a hand reaches toward my face. Eri-san, if you're that worried, why not try at least once? Haruka, you're serious and hardworking, and your magic ability is pretty good. All of you are beginners, so at first the requests will be simple. Nothing to stress so much about. Plus, the fact that you're thinking so seriously with that expression means you've almost made up your mind, she finishes. I think for a moment, and the words come out on their own. That's true. It's embarrassing to admit, but maybe. I was just waiting for someone to give me a push, I say shyly. Eri-san responds, You really are uncertain, aren't you? And just so you know, I wasn't joking when I invited you to our team, so don't forget it, all right? Yes, thank you, Eri-san. No need to be formal. Just call me Eri, she says casually as we keep walking. Then adds, We're friends now, right? We get to the counter, and the woman there says, Sorry for the wait. Please sign here after checking everything. But my conversation with Eri isn't over. I answer, Yes. Friends. Yes. I've made a friend much younger than me. Haruka, what will you do next? I wanted to check the request board. I'm curious what kind of jobs are up there. Eri, the request board. Several guys stand near it, reading something. Eri, I'll go with you. I reply, I can manage on my own, you know. I'm not a child. She answers, That's not what I meant. Fine. You'll understand when you're alone. Her answer makes me uneasy, but I say, Thank you for today. Yeah, she replies. I continue. See you next time, she responds coldly. Sure. A moment of silence, then, Actually, I'm sure we'll meet very soon. I walk to the request board, catching a few looks from the guys standing around. One of them asks me, You Ralph's girl. That bastard really has interesting taste in women, another says. Someone else adds, Dark elf, huh? Cute face. It flusters me, even makes me panic a little. I stammer, No, I'm not. I don't have that kind of relationship with Ralph. But they snicker mockingly. Yeah, sure, of course you don't. Disgusting way of hitting on someone. How am I supposed to respond? Hold on, I say nervously. Problems with women. What am I supposed to do? Is this one of those situations? But the guys don't let me through. Quit pretending to be an adventurer. Go outside instead. You'll make money fast, one says. I'm scared. But I still need to respond. Please don't make fun of me. I'll try my best not to cause trouble. They only laugh more. You're pretty calm. You looking down on me or something? The leader says. No, I would never do that. Suddenly he grabs my shoulder. That guy and you both piss me off. Maybe I should teach you a little lesson. He starts dragging me somewhere, and I try to say something. I'm really sorry. I apologized already. Please, let go of me. He turns around with a nasty grin. Then why don't you resist a little? Come on, try calling for help. Maybe if I scream, someone will come, but I don't want to drag others into this. I knew it. You really don't think anything of me, he growls. You probably think I'm worthless, right? He lets go of me suddenly, giving me a little shove. That's not it. I just don't like conflict, that's all. But they don't care. They're smirking. I bow my head deeply. I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable. Could you please forgive me? I don't have money to pay you back. Then pay with your body, can't you? He grabs at me. But I dodge quickly. Sorry, but any further than this. If you don't stop, I'm going to defend myself, I say. It only angers him more. Go on, try. Another one adds. What can a newbie like you even do? While they're laughing, I can only think, what should I do? I want to get out of this without hurting anyone too badly. Fire won't work. Then water. During training, the spell was weak, but if I modify the formula, I gather my thoughts. I should at least try, and I begin. Water sphere. Form. Multiply. Gather. The guys laugh. It's just water bullets. You think I'll catch a cold? Fine, shoot. But the leader suddenly freezes, a chill running down his spine. Another guy asks, Tato, hey, why'd you get scared? Because this girl. Magic can normally only be used one spell at a time. Only highly skilled mages can cast several spells of the same type simultaneously. There are adventurers who can cast 3 different spells at once. They're called triple mages, actual monsters in the special rank. And Tato, in shock, asks, How? How is she casting 4 water spheres at the same time? And she's so calm, like it's nothing. Fly, strike, and freeze in place, I continue. Take the rear position. Forward. Water sphere. I point my hand. It hits Tato directly in the head. This is bad. He collapses, but his head is stuck inside a sphere of water. Tato! His friends shout. Tato, you okay? What is this water? It won't disappear! Then another sphere flies at the second guy, and his head is also trapped in water. I can't breathe. Tato gasps, choking. Damn, we messed with the wrong girl. I really shouldn't have, I think to myself. I knock down the whole group. They're all lying there. I turn to leave, but hear a familiar voice. Haruka! Thank goodness you're safe. Eri, Haruka, did you deal with them? Eri asks. I was afraid I'd be too late, but looks like I didn't need to worry. We lock eyes, both shocked. Eri starts yelling, Haruka, did they do something to you? But I only care about one thing. I didn't kill them, right? What? She says. I didn't. Did I kill these people? I ask, terrified and confused. I grab Eri. They're alive, right? She realizes I'm panicking, quickly checks them and says, They're fine. They're just unconscious. She takes my hand. Come on, tell me what happened. But I stay silent. I glance at the boys. Tato manages to pop the water sphere. But I caused harm myself. If I kept using magic, I could have killed all 4 of them. I suddenly stop, pulling Eri to a halt. Ow! She yelps. Why did you stop? I'm going back to make sure they spit out the water. If we leave them like this, they might actually die. I turn around. But Eri. Haruka! Wait. I start flipping the leader over, patting him on the back. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but please, spit the water out. He starts coughing. I sit him against the wall and move to the others. Eri just watches silently. Are you all right? Please wake up, I say, tapping Tato's cheek. He's still unresponsive. I have no choice but to slap him. Oh no, I probably hit too hard. Thank goodness. You're awake. He looks at me with eyes wide like coins, still coughing up the last bits of water. I'm sorry for everything that happened earlier. If you have any requests, I'll listen. My intention. I went too far. I apologize. He hiccups, stunned, thinking, she's still angry? His understanding. If she wants a fight, I won't back down. He suddenly drops to his knees and bows deeply. I was wrong. I'll do anything. Just please forgive me. But I reply, the important thing is that you're safe. He shouts back, Yes! I'm fine. I won't do anything bad again. I'm glad it ended well. They completely misunderstand each other. Eri thinks to herself. Eri decides to change the subject. It looks like they're all fine, which is good. Let's go. But suddenly Tato yells, Please wait. Let me treat you to a meal as an apology. Eri and I look surprised. No need, really. But Eri interrupts me. He's offering from the heart. Why not let him treat you? Eri, you're pretty bold. Honestly, I wouldn't mind eating properly. We eat, and Tato drinks beer. Tato, a little drunk, starts talking. Haruka, big sis, sorry for everything. Big sis? Being called big sis is too much, thinks my inner self. Tato keeps rambling. There was a girl I liked, but I missed my chance. She was my childhood friend. I'd been in love with her for a long time. Then that Ralph guy appeared, and she fell for him. Every time we met, she'd only talk about him. Started wearing makeup, dressing cutely. I'm stronger than that guy, Tato told her. Try saying that when you surpass his rank, she replied. I'm already rank 4, and I'm only 20. I worked hard, step by step. And still, but taking it out on Haruka was wrong. Only scumbags do that. His friend pokes him, real bastard, tapping him in the chest. Eri jokes. Haruka, let's eat while his wallet still has money. But Tato panics. Do whatever you want. I'm paying for everything you like. From now on, I somehow gained a sort of younger brother. He follows me around wanting to help. For a second, I regretted healing them, because he won't leave my side now. And everyone notices he calls me Big Sis. Bells instead of a morning alarm. Waking up to bells is still new for me. Maybe I'll get used to it in a few days. I look over my things and sniff them. They don't smell yet, but I really should do something about these clothes already. My chest bounces when I walk, and it's distracting. But first I have to meet Albert and the others. I have to give them my answer for yesterday. I remembered how I ran away from them yesterday. I went out and saw a girl, a beautiful one. She said, "Good morning, Haruka-san." But I didn't know her. "Excuse me, who are you? How do you know my name?" I asked. "Ara, looks like I scared you," she said. "My name is Visha Valeri. I'm the head of the Golden Wings clan. I heard about you from Eri." "From Eri? Wait, you're the head of a clan? A first-class adventurer?" I asked. "That's right. Fufu, you did your homework," she said with a cute smile. I awkwardly asked, "Does someone like you have business with me?" And in my head, did I do something wrong? "You're so cautious it even makes me a little sad," she said. "Ah, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I'm just joking. You're so kind, Haruka-san. I just wanted to greet you today, and I also brought a little present." She held out a bag with a bow on it. "Thank you very much. Is this... It's underwear. You need it, right?" she said with a playful smile. I was worried it might not be useful to you, but I'm glad to see you're all right. She smiled, and I took the gift. I picked something nice, so please use it with pleasure. I'm glad we met today. Well then, see you, said Visha Valeri, and almost skipped away. I stayed standing at the door, scared. A first-rank adventurer who gives you underwear the very first time you meet. The underwear itself is useful, but everything about this is just strange. It's scary, so for now, I'll just leave it in the room. I put the bag on the bed and went out. In any case, today I need to meet Albert and the others. I went outside and saw this scene. Ari and Ralph, and between them a heated exchange. I heard Ari shout at him, "I already told you! Stay away from Haruka!" Ralph answered her, "And who are you anyway? Her guardian or something? Ari-san?" I decided to interrupt them. Please, don't fight!" "Haruka!" Ari shouted. "Yamagishi!" Ralph shouted. "I'll ask her myself, so don't butt in, Ari-san!" I got stuck between them, and Ari answered him. "Oh, is that so? We've already talked everything over, so maybe you're the one who should stay away." I froze in surprise. "Ah, you mean the lodging, right? I'm sorry. I should have explained everything myself from the start. I'm the one causing trouble for Ralph, so, really, please forgive me," I said. But Ralph replied, "I'm not angry with you, Yamagishi-san." Ari cut us off. "Exactly. Haruka has nothing to apologize for." I bowed my head. "No, I'm the one who was ungrateful. I'm supposed to be an adult, responsible. But I relied too much on someone else's kindness. And then someone saw this scene. Tato. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Making our boss apologize?" And now his friends joined in with shouts. "Hey Tato, that's Ralph, right? Looks like he's got his eye on our boss." Ralph said irritably, "Got my eye on her? That's a bit much. And who even are you people?" Ari said with displeasure. "Don't pretend. I know what you're plotting. Your hidden motives are obvious to me. Tato, we're not going to let you so much as lay a finger on her." And then from the other side, "You're not any better yourselves, womanizer and thug." "Ari!" I called out to her. "A thug? And what did you do, Yamagishi-san? And you, Ari-san, stop just dragging Yamagishi around however you like," Ralph said. Toto snapped back at him rather roughly. "That's none of your business." And I just stood there in a stupor, thinking, what on earth is even going on here? I really have no idea what to do. At all. I just want to finally give Albert and the others my answer. Corin flung Albert's door open, quickly and sharply. "You're still sleeping, Albert? Breakfast is going to end soon." Corin, he muttered sleepily. Corin continued. "You promised to meet Haruka in the dining hall, right?" That made Albert jump up from the bed. "Ah, right!" They left the room and saw Montana. "Ah. Good morning, Montana-kun." "Good morning," he replied. "Corin, are you going to breakfast? Come with us." They entered the dining hall, and it was full of people. "So noisy," Albert commented. Someone said to them, "A fight in the morning and it's already this loud." "A fight? Huh?" The kids looked into the crowd and saw me. "Haruka!" they shouted. "Ah, good. All three of you are here. Could you wait a little? I'll be right back," I said. "Okay," they answered. They sat down at a table and started talking. "Looks like something serious happened. I wonder what went on." "You know that elf girl?" a guy from the next table asked. Albert answered, "Yeah, we only met yesterday. We trained together, and I just invited her to join our party." On hearing that, the stranger said, "That's rough. From what I can see, the whole fuss is because of that elf girl. And Ralph is into her, too. What's so rough about that?" "Well, Obviously, it's better to join a newbie party or a veteran party. Albert started to get up from the table. Maybe I should go over there for a bit. Corin pulled him back. Hey, wait. And what exactly are you going to do if you go? But, he started, and Montana commented calmly. Either way, it's her choice. Albert sat back down. So then, Haruka-san, you were looking for quests, right? Ralph began. Eri shouted, Hey, don't throw her name around so casually. Tato, what, you trying to get into the boss's party or what? Ralph, even so, that's still better than hanging around with thugs like you. Eri said to me, Haruka, you've already decided on a party, right? You have to tell everyone clearly and directly, okay? Ugh, that kind of emotional pressure is hard on me. I'm bad at being clear or firm, but I still have to put an end to this. We're getting in everyone's way, and Albert and the others are waiting for me. I turned toward the kids. They were sitting there, awkwardly waiting. Just waiting. And that's all. For a moment, I sank into myself. Excuse me. Could I have a minute? I said. And I walked toward Albert and the others. Ralph, Tato, and Eri just froze. I went around them and stood behind the kids' backs, facing Ralph, Tato, and Eri. And I clearly said, I'm planning to team up with these guys. So, at least for now, I'm not going to join any other group. The kids looked up at me. But I'd like us to keep getting along from here on too. And please, let's not fight anymore. Everyone was surprised. Everyone who had been part of this whole mess. Albert, shocked, couldn't hold back his emotions and shouted, Are you serious, Haruka? You're going to join us? Corin hugged me. I was sure you'd choose another team. Everyone started buzzing. Albert shouted happily, Hey, let's go look at the quest board already. Eri, stopping me. Wait, what about breakfast? What a relief. I'd been worried that because of all these arguments, they'd reject me before we even started working together. Everyone else scattered in different directions. Ralph-san, I called out to him. Haruka-san, he answered. Ralph-san, I wanted to properly apologize and thank you. Ralph, it's fine. I really was acting childishly. I said, No, that's not it. I'm very grateful for your help, but I got scared that if I didn't repay you, the debts would just keep growing, and I have absolutely no money. So I ended up imagining the worst. Haruka-san, if you ever find yourself in trouble, come to me first, all right? He said with a smile. See you, he said, and walked away smiling. I stayed standing where I was. Eri came up behind me. What a smooth talker, she said nervously. Big sis, could I talk to you for a minute? He called out to me, getting my attention. I came today to give you this, Tato said, holding out a gift. Clothes? I asked. He replied, Yesterday you said you didn't have any spare clothes. I said, You remembered. I'll pay you back next time, thank you. Tato answered, No need. This is part of my apology for yesterday. I turned to Eri but kept talking. An apology? What happened? And laughed. Eri smiled. Well, a lot of things. A lot. Exactly. I've only been in this world a few days, and so much has already happened. I walked over to the guys. Albert said, I forgot to say something important. It's because joy suddenly overwhelmed me. Eri smiled. Well, a lot of things. Let's say it again. Let's do our best together, Haruka. He held out his hand, as if to seal our agreement with a handshake, with the widest smile on his face. And I reached out in return. Yes, thank you.